Peace family, it's the Hoodmystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. Today we're going to be talking about the solar eclipse / new moon in Leo, which takes place August 11th, 2018. The title of this video and article is The Case for Freedom. Now, if you want to take a look at the article that I please visit www.hoodmystic.com. Put a lot of work into the article. So I really want you to go check it out. So please check that out, www.hoodmystic.com. To support my channel, to donate to my content, please join the Patreon family, patreon.com/hoodmystic, paypal.me, hoodmystic, for PayPal, Cash App, hoodmystic38. And remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell, because Monday through Friday, we will be doing a daily energy reading, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, solar eclipse, new moon, the eclipse season is not over. This new moon is special in particular, so there's some astrology things that I want to deal with, so we can kind of prepare now and really go into what's going to be happening over the next 2 months or so, and just really give you just the astrology, and then kind of give you some real life examples using movies and popular culture and things like that. I tried to do some different things with this presentation, so if you guys are patient with me and stick with me and ride with me through the whole video, you will be rewarded. So make sure you have a pen and paper to kind of take notes and see how this information applies to your life, because that's what we do with this astrology. This is esoteric astrology, where we take the planets and we incorporate them into our being. And so the major aspect that's happening for this new moon is a learning triangle. And a learning triangle is when we have an inconjunction, a trine, and a square involving these three planets, and they form a triangle, and it's a learning triangle. So what's being presented to us is a challenge, a misunderstanding, as well as a solution. And so what I did in the article is I wrote out kind of in depth of what this actually means. And so with this video, I'm going to try to just elaborate and give you kind of more of a real world example, so it's kind of not left in the astrology realm where I'm just talking about, well, the new moon is in conjunct Neptune and Pisces and all of these astrological words where people don't know exactly what I'm talking about. So the first thing that I want to talk about the solar eclipse and new moon and how it affects us astrologically or esoterically is in the realm of conviction, in the realm of having a strong belief. So in this movie Conviction, it was about a woman who had a brother who got charged for murder, but she felt in her heart of hearts that he didn't commit this murder. So, and instead of her just saying, damn, that's fucked up, they locked up Ray, ain't nothing I can do about it, she went to law school for 7 years, you know, and figured out the best way for her to free her brother. And then, you know, and then through her hard work and her process, she ended up freeing him. And that was a testament of conviction. Sometimes in life, we are faced with certain types of obstacles, and then, you know, there's a solution to that obstacle, but the thing that blocks us to that solution is really the belief in self. You know, me personally, I have a 10-year plan that I'm kind of in like year 3 of. And so when it comes to wealth and success and business and all of these things, you got to have some self-value to what you actually can accomplish. And so if we have internal struggles and things of that nature, these are the things that we're going to have to resolve if we really, really want to get to where we want to get to, if we have a 10-year plan. So if we do have a 10-year plan, if we do want to play the long game, then there must be some things that we have to begin to clear within ourselves. And so this new moon energy is all about self-worth. It's all about self-value. It's all about self-empowerment, not for the sake of you just being like, well, I look good, I feel good, and, you know, none of these people can stop me. No, it's like, you know, you got to clear so you can actually do something worthwhile. And so this energy, it inconjuncts Neptune and Pisces. And so when it comes to creating something that we truly want to do, where are we taking our cues from? Where are we getting our our motives from. And so Neptune in Pisces is really speaking to a pineal gland and the third eye chakra. If that pineal gland is calcified and that third eye chakra is blocked, then you are taking cues from someone else. You're not taking cues from the soul, because the pineal gland is known as the seat of the soul. So if you are not taking cues from self, then you're taking cues from somebody else, then you're a crash dummy in a sense, because you're not going to be somewhere that you ultimately want to be. So this shows up in relationships too. In my relationship, we are committed to each other, but if my wife wakes up tomorrow and says she wants to go to France because her spirit is telling her to go to France and she has the resources and she gives the plan of what she's actually going to do and all of that, then she has to go to France. The same way as if I have a goal or something that I want to accomplish, then she'll support me. See, in relationships, if God is not at the head of your relationship, or the divine is not the head of your relationship, then you are feeding off of your partner, and then you are draining your partner. But if you are building from the divine, then you're not draining your partner, and you realize that you and your partner have a spiritual purpose in this moment of being together, and you never take that relationship for granted, because that relationship is fully in the moment. But you don't get there by simply being in love with the person. You get there by being in love with self, in love with your inner divine self, and then reflecting that energy to your partner. And so this misunderstanding that may be happening is that it may not be a relationship. It may be a place of employment. It may be a friendship where that relationship is unhealthy. It may be a mom. It may be somebody that's not even alive right now, and you're trying to live up to their footsteps. And you're really doing yourself a disservice, because in your heart of hearts, when you really do the work and you like, well, damn, I need to be doing something completely different. But such and such is not going to like me if I switch up the program. And so since that is your judgment and how you base your decisions, you're headed into a crash. And so it's really important to be really in tune with self as we go into this new moon, because as we know, new moons are really about setting intentions and setting a proper intention. See, if I'm setting an intention based out of pain, trauma, and fear, then that's the intention that I'm setting, not even knowing that I'm bringing on more pain, trauma, and fear. So this is why we clear. This is why we rectify and reconcile all misunderstandings within ourselves, because reconciling that energy brings about a change even in our relationships with our people and our loved ones and things of that nature. So if we don't do the cleansing work, this is what will happen if we don't do the cleansing work.
Uncle Pete and Home Mama would kill us. You are tripping. I'm selling the house. You're not selling the house. I am the guardian of her estate. That means I make the decision.
Come on now, listen to what they're saying, all right? Your mama worked hard to keep that house in the family, for everyone, for you and your
Oh,
family.
fuck the family. The family, I was the family in my house. You know what? The family fucked my husband. Yeah, they fucked my husband. So what are you going to say, huh? Terry, what?
Talk about
Can we talk about what?
And so don't let your shit build up and pile up to the point where you explode on people that love you based upon the shit that you need to address in your relationships, because it can show up like this because there's trauma there is pain there that has not been cleared, and so you will explode at a certain point. It's important that all of these situations that occur in your life that bother you, that trouble you, You figure out why they trouble you, why they bother you, as opposed to simply saying, this bothers me, so I'm going to stay in this space because I don't know. Because the reality is that people are not going to do the clearing work. People are going to let their trauma run their lives. And so you're going to have to deal with these people. So you need to understand what's happening so you don't fall into that same boat. So you don't fall into that same path. Neptune in Pisces, like I said, is the pineal gland. It's the spiritual center for your way. And then Jupiter in Scorpio is more of your divine kingship, more of your lineage, more of what you could actually do, your wealth. How many people want to be wealthy? How do you actually accomplish that wealth? Well, Jupiter is in Scorpio right now, so that tells me that when we clear, then we are clearing the space for new energy to come. We deal with Jupiter in full detail on this channel. Check out the video Jupiter Explained to understand how we begin to create new energies, new memories for ourselves. How can you create new memories if you are fixated on the past memories, good or bad? When we're living in the present day, we're living in a new day, a new time. A lot of times people want to recreate old memories. And that's not Jupiter energy. That's a form of mental illness called nostalgia. So we all clear, we all ground, we all cleanse. Nobody has the past that is enviable. We eliminate all past, good or bad, because we want to be clear to create new and vibrant energies reflecting our consciousness awareness. And instead of, this hyper consumerism or this materialism that's been presented to us since we were born. And so ultimately, what we can learn from this learning triangle is that through clearing, through healing, you can address any blocks that's going to create any new positive memories. Just like Mufasa. Like all families have problems. In The Lion King, Scar was on trash. Scar was hating on the whole situation just so he could be king. But through understanding who he was, through connecting to the ancestors, you think you watching a cartoon. No, you watching some real ass shit. When Simba connected to Mufasa, I'm sure he felt that. And that was the motivation that he needed to take over and become king, and to connect with his wife, and to have his child, and to free himself, and to get into his kingship. Watch The Lion King, and don't watch it like it's a cartoon. Watch it like it's some scientific information on how to really reclaim your kingship. I don't know if we talked about it on this channel, but we talked about the kingship of the queens with can't think of it right now. Imhotep, not Imhotep, but one of those queens, those pharaohs that were women. So it's not a man thing when I talk about kingship and disciples. Hatshepsut was the first female pharaoh, was the first female kings. We're all kings. King is just representing a lineage to the divine. When a pharaoh was a pharaoh, he represented the God on earth, and we all have that energy within us. And so where does this energy show up for us at? Hakuna Matata, my nigga. It means no worry for the rest of your day. And that's real spit. And so some other aspects that we talked about, like I said, we go in full detail in the article. So if you want some full detail, or if you want more elaboration, be sure to check out www.hoodmystic.com for a full detail of what I'm talking about. But these are just some quick hits on the other aspects surrounding the new moon and solar eclipse. We got the new moon in conjunct Pluto and Capricorn. So the new moon is like Simba, then in conjunct Pluto and Capricorn is like Simba being a child, but then realizing that he is going to be a king. It is his divine fate or right to be a king, and that represents transformation. And when Scar was beating his ass, he didn't understand that he was going to be a king. At that moment, when we're dealing with our trouble, when we're dealing with our trauma, when we're going through our homeless shelter phase or whatever the case we may be going through, when we're going through our single phase or we're going through our marital problems, the point of it all is that we feel that we won't overcome that shit. We feel we're going to be lonely forever. We feel we're going to be in this toxic situation forever. But this energy in conjunct Pluto and Capricorn is saying you just don't understand this transformation that's about to happen, feller, ma'am. So really understanding that you are not your problems, you are actually your overcomings. So Venus and Libra oppose Chiron and Aries. Chiron and Aries is not an energy that's passive. This is healing, but not some healing that's going to come from, you know, your fairy godmother. It's what's going to actually take place, because Venus and Libra is really about relationships. Opposite Chiron and Aries, so the relationships that hurt you. And that energy that's rising to the surface. That energy that you not healed, that you probably got over because you got into another relationship or you got into another situation, but you really not over that shit for real. And that shit shows up. It shows up in a text or somebody knocking at your door, you bumping into old boy with your new relationship. And then them feelings coming up, and then how you able to handle it. We all should be able to look at our past relationships and laugh at how stupid we were for getting ourselves into those situations. But if we look at them like X and X done did me wrong, then we haven't healed from that, and that shit's gonna come up for you to heal it. Because all of this energy, so imagine Hatshepsut, like, you know what? I'm a step down from this pharaoh ship because I gotta deal with these niggas out here that ain't shit or whatever the case may be. She had to get over all of that relationship shit and deal with what had to take place. What it, like, she had to kill her son and do all types of crazy stuff. So it's like, if you wanna wear the pants, then you have to do the action. So if we want to transform and we want to live this divine life, but we still hurt over what the things that happen in our past, then that's the energy that we're going to attract. That's the energy that we're going to bring about, because when we deal with new moons, those are celestial times to sow. So we have to be fully clear on our emotions, or else we will sow those negative emotions and we continuously get back those negative emotions. So that's why we keep reading all of this conscious stuff. You got all of the books, but you don't got none of the healing because you haven't done none of the application. New moon conjunct Mercury retrograde. So like I said, this is all about self-worth. This is all about self-value. This is all about self-love. So how are you handling it mentally? I've been telling myself, real talk, I am beautiful. I am smart. I am happy. I am wealthy. I am successful. This is what I tell myself. Even when if I don't actually feel it, but I'm telling myself because I'm really into the positive self-affirmations. And I'm just saying that for anybody. Don't let nobody tell you who you are or how you should feel about yourself. Self-worth, self-value, self-love is so personal and so internal that you could be in the deepest, most loving relationship and it don't got shit to do with them. It's so much to do with you and your legacy, your personal legacy, your divine heritage, and connecting to that and sowing that as you move into the solar eclipse. So it's so important. And finally, Mars in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus. So let me just paint a picture for Mars in Aquarius right now, or Mars in Aquarius during the new moon solar eclipse. This is what Mars is like. You ever had to go somewhere and you ain't have no car or nothing? You had to walk. But it was a long walk. So you was like, okay, I'm going to take this long walk, whatever. It's going to take me half of the day, whatever. And so you begin to walk. You might get 3/4 of the way there and realize that you forgot something that you needed for this trip. So you have to go back home, get what you need, pick it up, then go all the way back to where you need to go, and then finally go back home again. That's what Mars in Aquarius is doing right now, because Mars in Aquarius is going to be in retrograde. Mars in Aquarius is exhausted because Mars doesn't even like being in Aquarius, because if I'm a runner, if I'm an athlete, it's like LeBron James playing basketball on top of a cloud. It's all good when you on Earth, you dunking on niggas, running through people, just doing whatever. Now I got you on a cloud and we on gravity. Now I can jump as high as you. So this is what we're doing. All of this energy is tied into you freeing yourself from your bondage. And you do not free yourself from your bondage being literal and logical. Being literal and logical just simply has you doing the same thing that you've been doing. So Mars in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus is putting a challenge in you and saying, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I do not know how I'm going to make it. Or I know exactly how I'm going to make it. I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to defy gravity. I'm going to do a dance move that you niggas have never seen before. I'm going to do astrology like nobody has ever seen before. Like Michael Jackson. People thought they seen all the dance moves, and then he gets on there and does a moonwalk. And then the way that you do it with your own self energy, with your own self-worth, you put the stamp down that can't nobody follow you. You can copy it, but nobody has ever been able to do the moonwalk like that man. And so that's what this energy is really speaking to. What is your moonwalk? How can you put your stamp on the world based upon your self-development and self-empowerment, self-love, self-worth, self-value, all the good shit in life, the shit money can't buy? Interesting thing about the tarot, that I did the research for the astrology, just did the research for the astrology. I didn't look at the tarot, but I realized that I created a trend with this tarot, doing these tarots. So I was like, okay, let me see what the tarot was for the second decan of Leo. Interesting enough, the Six of Wands speaks to the same energy of what I've been talking about for this whole entire time. So if you want to disregard everything, just study the Six of Wands to understand the energy of the solar eclipse new moon. We talked about this last Friday on our daily energy reading. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you can get alerted to every time we go live. And so when we did this, I was explaining how Jupiter in Leo is all about wealth and success being connected to your self-worth and self-value. So how do you feel about yourself? Truly. This is so personal and so intimate that you really need to take some self-inventory, self-involvement. Figure how you feel about yourself. And then you got problems with yourself, address them. Not for nothing, because we're dealing with Jupiterian energy. The second decan of Leo is ruled by Jupiter and Sagittarius, meaning your wealth and success is connected to your self-assurance, self-fulfillment, strength. This is victory for you by understand, because it's a battle too. Leo represents a battle, but it ain't like people is outside shooting or people got knives trying to chop your head off. Oh, the battle goes on way before you walk outside. So the battle is within yourself and really defeating those inner demons. This is how you free yourself. And so this is what this energy is speaking to. I hope this resonated with you and hope that, you know, made sense. And so from there, we discussed the Orisha of the week, ORULA, or in some schools of thoughts, ORUNMILA. I'm gonna just let y'all know something. Every time I do a reading, this candle is lit. ORULA is the ORISHA of wisdom, knowledge, and divination. And so if you're not into divination, you're into whatever it is that you into, might I suggest that you get into divination? Because divination is the practice of seeking knowledge of the future, but then the practice of discovering your inner power. What else are you fucking discovering? I'm trying, like, comment on this video if there is something for you to discover other than your inner power. If there's something better, because I need to figure this out. I divine many ways. This right here is a Dilogun, 16 shells, and depending on the vibration or the number, we take the shells out and we divine, and then we just look up the different shells that are open and the different shells that are closed. And tarot is a form of divination. Pendulums are a form of divination. It's a form of going outside of yourself for answers and documenting those answers and keeping current with those answers. Astrology is a form of divination. There are so many ways that we begin to get in tune with ourselves, and Orisha is one of them, because Orisha represents an energy outside of society. When the Orisha ORULA was born, his father was so mad at something else that he just buried Orisha outside in the ground underneath a tree for years, 20-something odd years. And so when his father got around to freeing him from his bondage, he said, ORULA, ORUNMILA, you can come back in the house now. Please forgive me. ORULA said, nah, son, I'm cool out here in the nature. I'd rather feed off the same energy that these trees and plants and wildlife feed on, rather than the energy that y'all feed on from the news and Love and Hip Hop and Tekashi 6ix9ine. Y'all can have that. I'll be in nature trying to grow as large as a tree. So this power source is within you. You're just not activating it, and you're not dealing with it, and you're not divinating. And if you are divinating, then the energy now has moved into beginning to help others. So if you got your shit together, if you find yourself in a zen, happy, blessed situation, then now you have to begin to heal the rest of the human population, or else you're not really happy. You're not really healed. Because I find myself in a position where I have everything that I want. I don't want for anything. And now my heart is heavy. Now I care. Because I can care. And so sometimes you might find yourself in a position where you can't care because you're too hurt. And so if you find yourself in that position, all you can do is care about yourself. But once you begin to find yourself in a position where you are healed, then you realize that, oh shit, it is so much pain in the world, that we have to begin to speak consciousness into our brothers and sisters, or else this pain runs rampant. And this pain is not something that is real. This pain exists so people can feed off of. So we have to begin to enlighten our brothers and sisters. We have to begin to speak to connecting to the divine within. We have to begin to educate them in the sacred arts and the mystical arts. Because otherwise, you know, money is not going to save them. Money is not going to free them. Love, sex, all of these things, they're good, but they're not going to free anybody or save anybody. So that was just the solar eclipse. I didn't want to do a long video. I just wanted to kind of touch on the aspects and really show you some things that were happening, try to expand on the learning triangle, and hopefully you understand the parts of it. The challenges that you face, the misunderstandings that you face, they all come with a solution. If you do have a problem that exists in your life, then that problem came ready equipped with the solution. You now have to begin to open yourself up to that solution. We are available for readings. So, you know, on the left of me, we have just some testimonials and some reviews on some people that I've actually done reviews on. So be sure to check out those in full detail at www.hoodmystic.com/testimonials. And so hoodmystic.com/readings and consultations is where you can find our pricings and availability. And so from there, I just want to let people know that this is a very transformative time, and the more that we clear, the more positive our seeds are that we can begin to sow. And if we do have problems, there are solutions, and those solutions are generally not found in the outside world. Those solutions are found deep within us. And so if you need help accessing the energy deep within you, then please be sure to hit me up, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about people finding their own solutions within them. And so this is something that I do for a living. This is something that I do every day. So if you're new to my channel, new to my content, I would just like to welcome you, and just to know that if you want a positive, spiritual, enlightening person that's about this shit on the daily, then be sure to join the Patreon family, www.patreon.com/hoodmystic. And this is something that we just do. If you want to donate to my channel, paypal.me/hoodmystic. So Cash App Hoodmystic38. Just appreciate all the support, all the love that we've been getting. So that love that I've been getting, I'm trying to do different things and better things in the realms of astrology to give you kind of like a presentation, but also information, because I know guys don't like to be bored when we're talking about this astrology. And then I also want to say, when it comes to readings and things of that nature, I put a lot of effort into the reading. So when you do get the reading, it's going to be a lot of information for you to take in. And I do want to invite anybody who wants to get a reading recorded, spend that extra $10, get it recorded so you can have something to hold. Because generally, if we have a conversation, it's like, oh, this is good, I like it, but you'll forget about it, because that's what the brain does. Spend the extra $2 so you can always have it, you know, and then just have it, you know, forever. And then also you get a 7 to 10 page document that goes along with the reading. So I'm just not beating your ear up. I'm giving you astrology that you can kind of see and feel and touch with your hands, as opposed to it just being some vague stuff that does have no personal connection to you. Everything that I do, everything that I talk about is going to be for you. So if we talk for 3 hours, which some of my readings go that long, that's all for that person. So it's not for me to sound good or to feel good about myself. I'm very passionate about my customers and my patrons and people who support my channel. It's all about your development. It's all about you connecting to your soul, because once you connect to your soul, then you have the right information, then you have the solutions, then you have the answers. And so all of this information, everything that I brought forth, is really a spiritual transformation and how to really free yourself. So hopefully you took the information seriously, you took notes, and you're ready to move forward these next 2 weeks empowered, self-empowered, divine, powerful, and king-like. So with that being said, I wish you all a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever this video finds you. Peace and love from the Hood Mystic, from my family to yours. Have a good one, y'all.